I know you mentioned AI.
Mhm.
Are you seeing already or hearing about any law firms that are using AI to assist with like their marketing related tasks? And
To a
what do you,
de- to a degree, and I'm going to be a bit of a contrarian here. We always joke that law firms love to be first to be second. They don't want to be the first to do something. This is one of those instances where I actually think it might serve us well. I mean, we're even seeing in the tech community people coming forward saying, I saw 2000. I know what Hal can do. So I'm like, what do we really hope to achieve with this? And so I have my own cautious interest in what this will be. And I'm enough of a weirdo that when people are too breathlessly enthusiastic and you get those kind of early pundits that are almost shaming, you must know this and it's important. I'm always like, yeah, I don't know that I feel that way yet. And this is going to be a weird analogy. I tried it on LinkedIn and it landed like a thud. I feel like Chat GPT is like Clubhouse was a couple years ago. Everyone was like, Clubhouse is going to kill Facebook. It's going to be the best thing ever. You must be on Clubhouse. Why are you on Clubhouse? And I joined Clubhouse and I'm like, I don't want to sit here and listen to people without their bodies going on and on and on and on. While I like social media because I can watch Bravo's Below Deck and just kind of surf through things. I don't want to have to listen to this stuff. And it didn't quite take. I don't think it did. Apparently Sandra Bullock is following me on Clubhouse. I got that notification the other day. I don't think it's really the real Sandra Bullock, but I'm going to pretend it is.
I hope it
But
is.
I don't do anything with Clubhouse. I think Chat GPT obviously has far more, and this is what people don't understand when I say things like this. I see Chat GPT as a powerful tool, much like Google search was 20 years ago. And when we first saw the internet and with their, it is disruptive. But I think we need to offer some caution about what we do with it, especially in the legal space. I used to use ghostwriters at my first firm because the attorneys liked that. They didn't want to write. Then every other firm I went to, the word was sacred to them. They don't want someone else writing for them. And from an ethical perspective, we got to look at if we're doing content creation through these tools, are they ready for that yet? Are they ready for the nuance that's required? And don't we still need that human element, which is so beautiful in the law, to have the idea that builds on the other idea? Algorithms will be great, but I think we need to be careful about thought leadership in that regard. I do think, and there are tools to do this already, but not as well as I think they could. I think with the social media engagement and that kind of thing, using those tools to have authentic responses when you don't want to respond to everybody on social media would be lovely. I think law firms would benefit from that. It's not legal advice, it's softer. I always loved that Southwest Airlines, before they fell apart, really responded to everybody on social media. I thought that was a great differentiator for them. And that if you said, I'm having a terrible time at Delta, you heard from Southwest, here's a voucher.
That's
You know, to
hilarious.
me, that's good stuff. And that's where these tools could enable, I think, more of that. But again, I think you have to keep those people behind the scenes. And the attorneys will probably be the first to rush, not to displace themselves, but to displace the overhead of their marketing team and others and said, well, this chat function will do all my marketing for me. No, it won't. You still need someone to translate, understand, figure out what your culture is, and then bring those tools in where they make sense. I also think there are different, corporate law. I always have these people come to me and say, don't you want a virtual assistant to pop on your website and answer people's questions? And I'm like, not really, because I lose then the opportunity for them to connect to a human being, which is what I'm selling. But if I'm, a mesothelioma attorney, or, you're in a car accident and you want to, maybe. So I think there are different, and I'm not diminishing those applications. Those are important, but I just think there are different segments of the law that will probably use these tools differently. And this is a long ramble to come to the point. I don't understand it myself. So it's probably where some of my agnosticism comes in, and I'm showing my age. I'm like, could be really cool, but I'd like the smart people to figure it out really well first before we start throwing it on our website and other places. It causes me some anxiety from an intellectual property perspective, from an ethical perspective, because the language we use around law firms has to thread the needle both for our internal audience and our external audience. And I don't know that we're quite there yet.